I'm Justin McRoberts, and you are listening to the Title Pending audio series, a collection of readings focused on moments in my own creative history that I hope shed an inspired light on yours. Part 5, Enjoy the Journey. Chapter 18, Make regular stops. During a hike, I normally find natural places for pausing. Places from which I can look back down the trail of the progress I've made and sometimes further up the work I have before me. Similarly, I've found that there are natural moments in my creative process where a nice pause is appropriate, if not necessary. Some of those moments are dictated by the terrain, the end of a chapter or a section, once you've tracked bass or drums or vocals, or upon finishing a set of 5 songs or so, or just before the editing process. There are good moments to stop and look over what you have in hand. You'll likely feel that moment intuitively when it comes. Your body and mind have their own set of patterns and limits. When you do, give yourself permission to step back for a bit, to look at how far you've come, and again, even how much further you need to go. In his essential book, The War of Art, Steven Pressfield writes, "The professional arms himself with patience to keep himself from flaming out in each individual work. He knows that any job takes twice as long and costs twice as much. He accepts that. He recognizes it as a reality." When I started my first book project, I thought it would take me about a year to finish. It took 2. During the first half of that second year, I pushed too hard and worked longer hours than I should have. Stressed about missing my deadline, I didn't feel like I could rest until I was done. But most of the work I hurried through had to be fixed or redone anyway. After I gave myself permission to rest, I came back to my process, and with more energy and a keener focus, I made better work. This points to another section of the process, tied to the suggestion that you make regular stops. Plan for those pauses. Plan to work more slowly. Just accept that making good work will take longer than you want it to and cost more than you originally planned on giving. Know that going in. And know that a better rested, more focused, and generally healthier person finishes stronger and makes better art. In the biblical creation story, God creates the world in 7 days, with that 7th day being referred to as a day of rest. Too often, I think we read that story as 6 days of creation followed by a day of rest after all the work is over. But the way I read it, rest is actually included in the work. It's a necessary part of the process by which all things are made. And I think it ought to be part of our individual creative process as well. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Title Pending audio series. If you've enjoyed listening and you'd like to take another step or 2 in the direction of your own creative process, navigate your way to yourcreativeprocess.info. And there you'll find an online course I've designed for you.